$9 Mondays over at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com. Get any best bet or daily package for only $9.
Teddy covers, Lawrence Presman here. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. It's Wager Talk today, start of a new week, and nothing like hitting a personal best on the Peloton right before our show. Teddy, I'm feeling good. I had a 2-2 NFL weekend. Did win my 5% play, though. I want to give you a shout out before we get into the show. Like almost every single handicapper was on the Saints. Teddy, Tampa Bay, 5% play. Nice call, nice cover. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing all right. And I was surprised to see all the handicappers on the Saints. I thought that one was pretty easy. The Drew Brees that I expected was the Drew Brees that we got. So I'm not sure what everyone else was looking at.
Well, I mean, listen, I don't want to go backwards, so I won't get into what I was looking at. But solid show today, dude. Marco D'Angelo, if he can get his microphone working, will be up at the top of the show. We're going to look ahead at the NFL championship week. And then we've got Bryan Leonard making his debut to talk some hockey, the Carolina game and the Buffalo-Philadelphia game. Before we get into that, let's get straight to our lead story. And, of course, Ralph Michaels. That goes without saying. But our lead story, Teddy, early line moves. Green Bay, let's start there, and then we'll get to the KC game because this is juicy. Went to bed, it was -4. We had some money coming in on Tampa Bay down to -3.5. Where do you think this line's going to end up?
Tampa Bay, Green Bay?
Yeah.
Okay. So last night when it opened 4.5. Westgate hung a 4. And I was on the phone. I was texting back and forth. And just about everyone that I was texting and talking to was like, bet Green Bay now. You got to get big Green Bay. Kelly, our friend Kelly in Vegas, Kelly Stewart tweeted out, if you like the Packers, bet them now. And yet, despite that, with Green Bay 4.5, the market didn't move that way. The markets have moved down this morning, down 3.5 as a prevailing number. There are still some 4s out there. I don't think they'll be there an hour from now. So the early money is clearly coming towards Tampa. Now, whether that continues or not is another question entirely. But the +4s on the Bucks are disappearing quickly. If you like Tampa plus the 4, I bet that sooner rather than later.
He's Teddy covers everybody. As far as the total goes in that game, 84% of the tickets so far, and keep in mind it's very small sample size, are playing this game to the over, yet we have had a slight dip, a few 50.5s on the board. I think if you got to bet the over, you got to bet it now, Teddy.
Disagree. We're talking about January football at Lambeau Field in Wisconsin. We're talking about being a full week out. So in terms of the long-term weather forecast, we don't know what it's going to look like. Tuesday, Wednesday, we get a better idea. If the forecast doesn't look good, this total's not going up. And from early indications, the total's not going up. In fact, when you look at the leading indicator books, both globally and here in Las Vegas, early money's on the under. So I don't think you're in any rush to bet this one over the total, even if you like it.
Kansas City, Buffalo. Look, Mahomes. That's what this line's about right now. It's sitting at -3. If we get indication that Mahomes is for sure playing, I say it goes up. I think we're going to see a 5. And if Mahomes doesn't play, I think we're going to see Buffalo favored. I don't suggest anybody play this game right now. We got to wait this one out.
Disagree. And the markets disagree strongly last night. Normally, we would not see a line on this game. All right. The books would keep the game off the board. until the quarterback situation was more settled. These are not normal times. And I'll give credit where credit is due. The reason we have lines for this game is because Jersey and Pennsylvania and the other sportsbook, not the global books, not the Vegas books, the other books around the U.S. said, we're not going to wait all week to post this number. We're posting a number. It is what it is. Okay. In a regular season game, there's no way there's a number here. Okay. Because we don't know about the quarterback situation. The market said last night, we think Patrick Mahomes is going to play because it was bettable number. I mean, at one point last night, you could get the Chiefs plus 1.5. And if Mahomes doesn't play, Buffalo's going to go 2.5, 3 at least. But the markets made a clear statement last night. They think Mahomes is going to play. If Mahomes does play and gets approved, probable and all that, we could get to 4. This game's not going to 5, Prez. The Kansas City Chiefs haven't covered a single point spread in their last 9 games. There is no betting bandwagon for KC right now.
What a game, though, Teddy. I want to shout out to Andy Reid. I don't know if he's a genius or an idiot, but that last play, my God. I mean, even was it Aikman doing the game? Even Aikman and Buck, they're sitting there going, okay, when are they going to take the timeout and punt the ball? I think that was one of the most gutsiest calls I've ever seen in my life, especially with Chad Henne. Teddy texted me last night when Chad Henne comes in. He's like, the 32nd best backup quarterback in the league. He got the job done. And you know what? I love seeing those kind of stories, Teddy. This guy's had a illustrious career as a backup quarterback. And now he's got a story to tell his grandkids.
Sure. He could tell that along with the 4 times he lost to Ohio State. He can talk about that. Of course, a Michigan man, Chad Henne, someone who I never expected to last in the NFL as long as he had. And someone, I mean, maybe the 32nd ranked backup quarterback was a bit of an overstatement, but I did not expect the Chiefs to score again once Chad Henne got in the game. Did they get a field goal? Did you lead them on a field goal drive? Was it already 22-10?
Dude.
Yeah, I don't remember if he let him on a drive, but Henne made a handful of throws.
He did. They got a field goal.
Yeah, Henne made more good downfield throws than I expected. He did. But it was the 3rd and 15 rush that's going to stand out. Where he's diving for the first down line. That play of the game from Chad Henne. And the interception that he threw on the god-awful throw that you're doing, that's the Chad, and I tweeted, that's the Chad Henne we know and love or expect. That's the Chad Henne I know. The Chiefs' offense will not work with Chad Henne at quarterback, okay? It's not going to be Kansas City like we've seen them at all. And again, the Chiefs yesterday didn't punt and scored 22 points. So
yeah, no. I mean, fun game, Teddy. Listen, guys, we got Marco coming up, and what we're going to do now is we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back to Teddy's Bad Beat segment. Then we'll bring the co-founder and hottest NFL expert on the planet, tied with me a little bit, in after. Quick break, guys. We're right back with Marco D'Angelo, Teddy Covers, Bad Beat, Bryan Leonard, Ralph Michaels, and a whole lot more.
Have you ever checked out the expert handicappers at sportsmemo.com? If not, we have a deal that is impossible to pass up. Right now, you can get every pick from 12 different handicappers this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for only $99. This includes all sports, all 5% releases from 12 different handicappers for 3 full days. In the history of WagerTalk, Gold Sheet, and Sports Memo, we've never had a deal this good, and the odds are we never will again. All NBA, all college basketball, all NHL, NFL, and soccer, all sports, all 12 handicappers this weekend only at sportsmemo.com.
it's time for a little bad beats, bad bets, and bad for the books of recap of what happened in the sports betting world from a sports book perspective. Let's go through the 4 NFL games real quick, right at the top. Not real quick. You know how I do it. The Packers took public money, lots of public money. They also took lots of under money from the sharp markets. Green Bay and over probably would be better than Green Bay and under. But bottom line is this was not a great game for the house by any stretch of the imagination. Packers got the money, and there were plenty of public bets on Green Bay, and even the wise guy money on the Rams. Bet them down to 6.5. Didn't last long. They took it right back up to 7. So Packers, not a great game for the house. The Bills-Ravens was a two-way action game, side and total. The fact that the Ravens lost by margin was a teaser killer, and the books need those teaser killers in the postseason. They got one on Saturday. They got one on Sunday. So it worked out okay for the house. There was wise guy money for the Browns on game day. Two-way public action. Total bet from 54 to 56 stayed under, despite no punts from KC and only 2 from Cleveland. Cleveland got the money. That was a good result for the sharp bettors. Public, again, pretty well split on that one. And there was lots of Bucks money during the week. Then again on game day. Opened as high, there were 4.5s, 4s, 3.5s, bet down to 3. And then blew through the key number of 3 on game day. Down to 2.5 for Tampa Bay, and bettors won this one. Over money, too. The books won the total. Bet from 49.5 up to 53. But sidewise, the Tampa-New Orleans game, not a great one for the bookmakers. One bad beat of the weekend. This was an all-timer, and it stood out. It really stood out. Someone tweeted me. I'm like, I already saw it. I was watching it live. The Bulls were -1 at OKC. They're up by 10. They've been blowing them out the whole game. They're up by 10 with under 2 to play. Turnover, missed free throw, rush shot. Ends up tying tying at the end of regulation. You don't blow 10-point leads in the NBA with under 2 to play. Chicago did. And they did it without even getting to the free throw line to miss free throws. They were just turnover city. They ended up losing in OT. That was brutal if you had the Bulls in that one. Bad bets. Well, let's see. They bet the Pelicans Kings under last night, 230 down to 226. You can't bet Kings games under. The worst defensive team in the NBA by a wide margin. Bet down to 226. That total landed 251. Bad for the books. Wasn't a great day for the house in the NBA yesterday, or college hoops for that matter. The Mavs were shorthanded in an early start game versus the Bulls. The wise guys got it right. All the money came on Chicago. The Bulls won wire to wire in that one. Utah went from a short dog to a short favorite at Denver. The Jazz, they're the better team right now. They have the better end game. And also, they had playoff revenge. It mattered. Utah took the money and got the money. There was no Miles Turner for the Pacers. The Clips got bet up from -6 to -8. LA won by 33. The first time all year the Pacers have lost contact. And in college hoops, nobody wants Northwestern anymore. Iowa bet up from 8.5 as high as -10. They beat the Wildcats by 23. There you have it. A little bad beats, bad bets, and bad for the books. Back to you, El Presidente.
Well, why, thank you, Teddy Covers. Want to welcome everyone in. Happy MLK Day to you all. Hope you're at home enjoying a paid vacation. Gordon, Gerald, the Dan Show, Roger, Lucas, 1 million. I haven't seen your name in here. Thanks for joining us. Sebastian, Garrick, O+, Nate. So many of you guys really appreciate it. Guys, honestly, take 2 seconds. 2 seconds. I think we timed it. It was 1.3 seconds to hit that like button. It's really, really important to us. It's literally all we ask. Today's lineup, we had puck time start at 11 a.m. today. It's up now at our YouTube channel, WagerTalk Today. As you're watching, we got the college basketball show. We got the NFL show. Teddy, you got that opening line report today?
Sure do. Right after this.
Jam-packed, people. $9 Mondays. Everybody make sure to check it out. Carmine Bianco, one of probably the Marco and I are rolling. I'm on a 15-5 NFL run. I think Marco's on like a 15-4 NFL run. Carm is killing us all. Like, Carm came into the week 19-5. I don't know what he did have a winning weekend, but he's like 21-6, 20-7 NFL run, 20-7. He's got a 5% play up already. I've got a play up tonight in the hockey game. I'm 9-2 to start the season. Marco D'Angelo, let's bring him in. My co-founder, my buddy, my partner, one of the coolest men around in 1977. How are you, Marco?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing great, dude. Way to go on your weekend, man. Both you and I had a 5% play on the Bills, and man, we're like one win apart. I wanted so bad to catch you. I woke up Sunday morning. I was like, I just got to go 2-1 and I could catch Marco's run. I'm only one behind you, though. Outstanding work, dude. I love it. Way to go.
Yeah, yesterday, Saturday was good with the 5%. Yesterday wasn't so good. I was one of those guys on the Saints yesterday, and just, hats off to Tom Brady and company, and looks like that was the last game we'll see of Drew Brees.
Yeah, and it's a shame, dude. And, the game turned really. Teddy and I spoke about this last night. The game really turned on Jared Cook's fumble. Pretty close to field goal range, being able to go up by double digits. And instead, Tampa Bay got the ball, marched down the field, scored a touchdown. But that's what Teddy expected. Drew Brees' arm failing him, but that wasn't his fault. That was just a clear not holding the ball tight by Jared Cook. Let's get into some NFL. Teddy and I already spoke a little bit about line moves. Marco, we're going to take a quick opening look. None of us have done an insane summer research on these games. We're not locked into these picks. But let's start with Green Bay -3.5 against Tampa Bay with a total of 51. What's your initial impression?
Well, obviously, watching the game yesterday, the question with the Saints game is, Tampa Bay, how much of that was the Tampa Bay defense? Was it great defensive play, or was it bad offensive play by the Saints? And that's something you're going to have to look at and decide. One of the things that I do, guys, after a weekend like this is I'm going to go back and watch the games a second time. When you watch a game the first time, it's just like watching a horse race. Your eyes, you have those rose-colored glasses. Your vision is slanted to what your team is and what your narrative is, and you make excuses. You want to go back in same way with a horse race. Watch the race again, watch everything that went on with an open mind, and then draw your conclusions from that. I'm also going to go back and point out to the first meeting, and it's unique that both of these games, without them being division rivals, both of these teams played one another this year, both games. And Teddy, if I'm pretty sure, we both had the same side in the first meeting of Tampa Bay, Green Bay earlier in the year. I know I had a 5% play on Tampa Bay, and it was ugly. It was 10-0 out of the gate for Green Bay, and Green Bay had the ball. That game turned on one play. It was a pick six that changed the complexion of that game. And, that's kind of what we had happen yesterday with the Green Bay Tampa game. Whenever they settled for 2 field goals early, New Orleans, you kind of, for me, I felt very uncomfortable at that point. You had the momentum and dominated at the beginning, and you're looking at 6-0, and that's only one play away. And sure enough, Tampa Bay come back, kicked the field goal, and then got a turnover and went ahead 10-6, and it changed the complexion of the game. So, which one are you going to go at here? Tampa Bay's got a lot going against them. Warm weather team going into Lambeau. We'll have to watch the weather on the weekend. Also, again, another road game. It's tough to keep winning these games on the road in the playoffs. In fact, I'll give you a little angle. This is a league-wide stat, not necessarily playoffs, but since 1983 in the NFL, underdogs of 3.5 to 10 points that are off back-to-back road wins, and they're playing the next week, they have a winning record, 38-13 if you go against those teams since 1983 league-wide. Now, granted, everybody will say stats don't mean anything. It's this game and it's these two teams. But I like those league-wide ones because there's something to that rather than a team specific.
Marco D'Angelo. Teddy, I want to hear your thoughts on this game too. You've really got a handle on this Tampa Bay team. So many turning points in that game. We spoke about the Jared Cook fumble, but I also felt the phantom block in the back on the punt return for New Orleans to go up 10-0 was a crucial component to this game. Dude, Green Bay, Tampa Bay, what are your initial thoughts?
So if we've just watched this Bucs offense go up against two elite defenses here in the postseason, all right, the only reason why the Washington football team, I understand it was a weak division, but that defense was taking over games. And Tampa went to Washington in cold weather and moved the ball up and down the field. Hung 31. Yesterday, we saw them against another. I mean, the Saints had an elite defense this year by every metric you can find. And Tampa up and down the field again yesterday, and some of it was certainly, a lot of it was the Saints turnovers, making mistakes. But the Bucs once again get to 30 against an elite D. Now, we've seen this Packers defense at times this year have all kinds of issues. We've also seen them play their best football down the stretch. That, to me, is the key metric here. The first meeting, Tampa's defense all over Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers got off to that fast start. The Bucs made their comeback. Rodgers started making mistakes, and he had that Aaron Rodgers face the whole second half of that game. Where, the same face Drew Brees had yesterday. Will we see Aaron Rodgers' face here? He certainly hasn't played his best football against the better defenses that he's faced, but it's an offense at home that's very balanced right now. Could give Tampa trouble.
Yeah, I mean, look, they played, I think, the best defense in football this past weekend, and really were able to move the ball up and down on them. Marco, Kansas City, Buffalo, -3. Let's assume for the sake of argument that Mahomes is going to play because I expect him to. What are your early thoughts on this game?
Well, obviously watching the game yesterday and seeing what it is with this Kansas City Chief team, the numbers guys, the metrics guys that are smarter than me, what Kansas City has done this year, and with the exception of the Saints game, depending when you bet that game, most people pushed it. We're looking at a Kansas City team that continually wins, but has yet to cover spreads. They've now had 7 wins with no covers. That's unheard of in the NFL. We've talked about this numerous times. Ralph has run the number. I think it's somewhere around 83% of the time. You pick the winner, you have the spread winner. So what Kansas City keeps doing, is just beyond what the numbers say they should be doing. Now, so does that mean we take, Buffalo again? Well, we're sitting at a number where basically we're almost at just pick the winner. The spread should not be a factor with a 3-point line this week. And it's all going to come down to Mahomes. And let's not forget, it's not just the concussion. He was hobbled around yesterday with the toe injury as well. We don't know, nobody's really talking about that because the big concern obviously is the concussion. I think they can move the football. Last week, Buffalo, yeah, I had them. I had the 5% play. Glad to cash the ticket. But Prez, that game turned on one play. It was a 14-point play. We're looking at a tie game possibly, and instead we're looking at a 14-point lead with, 100-plus yard interception return for a touchdown. You talk about a backbreaker. And with Baltimore, they were one-dimensional. They were all, running. This week, Buffalo may become one-dimensional too. We saw them throw, come out against Baltimore. It was crazy. If we have a healthy Mahomes and we don't have weather, and this is something, again, when you're playing in January at Kansas City, you got to be careful playing a total early in the week because that weather can change in a heartbeat. And if you get wind in Kansas City, it's going to totally change the passing game. And if we have good conditions, I think this one's going to be a high-scoring game. I mean, good conditions in Mahomes. I don't see either defense stopping the other team.
Teddy, I'm with Marco on that as well. I like an idiot. I called the over yesterday in the Cleveland game at 57. This one is lower by 3, and I think both offenses. I mean, I'd be surprised if we see a punter. What do you like in this game?
I don't know what I like yet. I'm still thinking about it, and that's the beauty of talking on Monday morning, is that you don't have to lock in. And this is one that I will be thinking about, I'm sure, for a couple of days. I guess I'm not in any rush to lay a price with Kansas City right here.
Yeah.
I'm going to read some quotes this week. If you ask, the defending Super Bowl champs, in theory, have an edge at home in this game, as long as their opponent isn't much hungrier than they are. That could work in Buffalo's favor. We've seen two-way action on this total, that opened as low as 50 here in Vegas, opened as high as 56 here in Vegas. So there was a significant differential between the books at the opener for this one. Settling in at 54 right now, I wouldn't be surprised at all if it goes down before it goes up. I'm not seeing any leading indicator books telling us we need to worry. If you like the over to bet it today or bet it right now, the early money's at least somewhat coming the other direction.
Guys, awesome stuff. Marco, what do you got to promote, brother? You are absolutely on fire in every sport right now. Talk to me.
I've got NBA play up for tonight. I got a really unique situation that I like in the NBA tonight. We've been very selective in the NBA. And as you know, it's $9 Monday. Check it out. Head over to WagerTalk.com. And last thing I'll throw at Teddy heading out, you guys can talk about it. If you like Kansas City at all, or even just want to jump in and find the best number, I think you're at the lowest number that you will see Kansas City. If we get confirmation of Mahomes, this number is going to go up. So it's a spot where if you just want to have a -3 in your pocket, and then you can do things later, I think Kansas City is the buy now at 3.
Awesome stuff, Marco D'Angelo. Thanks for joining us, dude. We'll see you next Monday. Guys, check him out on Bet On It, the most watched show on our YouTube channel, but only the third. Oh, get out of here. We're right back with Bryan Leonard.
Every Monday is $9 Mondays over at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com. Get any best bet or daily package for only $9.
Teddy Covers, one of our chat room friends, had a 12-0 weekend in football. A whole bunch of prop bets won for him. It's way up at the top, so I don't know his name, but congratulations. Casey, you as well. Both unders, nicely done. What is so funny, Theodore Covers?
So when you're trying to give someone a shout out, okay,
yeah,
and it's a nice thing to do when people do have a good weekend. Of course, you give them a shout out. But not that I've never made the same mistake, Lawrence, because I do it sometimes when I try to reference a tweet that someone sent me and I didn't write down the name of the tweet. But that's from like days ago. But you're like, oh, this guy went 12-0. You paid enough attention, but you didn't write down his name.
Okay, Teddy.
Give him a shout out.
It was literally typed in as the show started. I know you're never in the chat room, but you don't understand. It's like 1,000 chats ago. I wasn't expecting to say anything, but we needed some time to kill because Marco had mic issues. So why don't you just bugger the hell off?
Okay.
Hey, I do want to point out a couple of things, and then we'll bring Bryan Leonard straight in. But I'd be remiss. Steve Merrill, Teddy, he's on the show tomorrow with us. The guy has started college basketball 25-7. Like that's absurd. And Dave Koken, the legend, 12-2 college hoops run. I just wanted to make a quick mention of that. Guys, $9 Mondays. Let's find out what Bryan Leonard is playing today. Bryan, welcome to Wager Talk today. I know it's your first time on the show. It's Teddy's fault. I've been pushing for you every day. Teddy's like, no, not Bryan. I'm like, please, Bryan. You look good, dude. I love the haircut. I miss you, man. I haven't seen you in ages.
I know. Once I heard you were going to have me on the show, I says, I better look good. And I know that's not Teddy. Teddy's a guy. Teddy and I have been friends for years. So I'm very happy to be on with you guys. And yeah, let's pick some winners.
Bryan, we're going to talk NHL.
On my, I had Bryan on my Sirius show this weekend. Sirius XM channel 204. We did a nice hit with Bryan for almost an hour on Saturday morning, and then again Saturday night.
Teddy, tell the listeners where they can find your XM show and why the Prez is never invited on it.
Well, we've only had 2 shows so far, and you aren't one of my top.
I don't want to go.
So, yeah. so yeah. I'm doing 1 guest per hour, and you're not top 4. What can I tell you? You'll get there somewhere.
Dude, I never want to come on that show.
But again, it's on Sirius XM channel 204. It's the Sports Grid, just a 2-hour weekly show. It's airing on Saturday mornings, and then again replayed on Saturday night. So a lot of fun. Really enjoyed the first couple of weeks. And again, you can follow it from my Twitter handle at Teddy_covers. You can follow it from Wager Talk. I know you guys have been tweeting it out as well.
Awesome stuff. Bryan, we're going to talk 2 hockey games. Before we get into that, I just want to let everybody know, guys, everyone knows Bryan as a baseball winning machine, a legend in his college football over and under season totals that he bets. Oh, no, games of the year, whatever. You can explain. Yeah, Teddy, you're going to lecture me now. But he does hockey. And Bryan, you take a lot of dogs in hockey. I love that strategy, but this year is so interesting with all the back-to-back games. You're going to have a lot of spots for these, teams like Detroit, Buffalo, etc., to come in on a back-to-back situation and really win outright. I think you got to be chomping at the bit over the structure of this season.
Yeah, I really do. You talked about the ugly teams. It's going to be really interesting this year because you've got maybe 2 to 3 teams in each division, and everybody only plays in their own division. So when they're playing the top of their division against another top of the division team, they're going to be going all out. We see this all the time in football. Your divisional games mean more than your conference games, mean more than the non-conference games. When these really good teams are played, let's say they play 4 straight games against teams that are really good in your division, then all of a sudden you're coming in against the worst teams. I think there's going to be a major letdown spot there. So I think it's going to be a lot of value. The reason I do very good in baseball and hockey is because you're playing underdogs. And these are the 2, say what you will. When you're looking at the luck scale, hockey is the luckiest sport there is. Baseball, second luckiest. And then you get to the other end where you got the NBA and you've got tennis, where anytime you have more repetitions in a game, like in the NBA, you're going to go up and down the court so many times, tennis, so many shots, the best teams are going to win. Hockey and baseball, it's not like that. You get times in baseball where you got the Yankees as a $4 home favorite with their ace on the mound and they lose. Hockey, we all seen hockey puck luck. Every game you're in, one team is dominating, they can't get in the goal. The next team gets 1 shot on the other end and they score. That's why I like playing underdogs in hockey.
Yeah, I love that thought. And speaking of which, Buffalo plus 140 versus Philadelphia. What do you like in this one?
You talked about the way this season started a little bit weird. If you go back and you look at the NBA and you look at the NFL, there's virtually no home advantage. So there should be no home advantage in hockey. So far this season, 63% of the home teams have won. In a normal season with crowds, it's 54%. So there's a lot of luck being involved with these home teams so far. Now, granted, it is a small, extremely small sample size, but I think we're seeing some value on these lines. I like Buffalo here. If you're looking at expected goals percentage, Buffalo ranks 4th right now. They're a team that is on the rise, but a lot of people in their lifetimes, Buffalo hasn't been that great. So that's not a team they're looking to back. So I think there's some value there on this one. To me, Philadelphia, when they played Pittsburgh the other day, Philadelphia, in my regard, they were outplayed most of the game. Pittsburgh had to go to overtime to beat Washington yesterday in a game they might not have deserved. So Pittsburgh's not playing very well, and yet Philadelphia is being pumped up by playing Pittsburgh. I think it's a situation where there's plenty of value on the dog here.
Let's talk another NHL game for tonight. Carolina playing Nashville, and the Predators. The Hurricanes? Yeah, I got them both. I got the nicknames. Talk to me about this matchup for NHL on Monday night.
Yeah, I know the guys with the advanced stance have always liked the Hurricanes. They always seem to have these great shooting percentages. In fact, they're second right now in expected goal percentage, even though they're 1-1 on the season at 64.62%. This is a team that gets a lot of shots. They control the puck in their area. They're coming off an embarrassing loss to Detroit, so you know they're going to be fired up here. And when you take a look at Nashville, even though they're 2-0 on the season, they have not been impressive. I look at the expected goals percentage here for Nashville. They're 26th. Philadelphia, who I just spoke about, is 27th. So just because a team wins a game does not mean they're the better team in that game. And I think we have got some nice value here on both of these road teams. There's 2 or 3 other guys out there that I follow their work after I give out this play. A few other guys will come in, and they're also on this Carolina side. So get this one up early because I think the line is going to move.
Bryan, outstanding stuff. And I got to tell you, I agree with both your plays. The Buffalo play fits right with what you were saying at the top of your segment. Philly just coming off of a matchup with Pittsburgh, 2 wins. Now they're dropping down in class. And I think Buffalo is actually a really fun hockey team this year. They're going to put up a lot of points, a lot of goals, but they've got so many issues in their back end, especially in net. And yeah, Carolina off of that loss, and Nashville's a team that's on a massive descent. Great stuff, my friend. When are you on Puck Time?
I don't know. Sometime this week, it may be Wednesday or Thursday. Wednesday probably, but I haven't been notified yet.
Awesome stuff. Anything quickly to promote?
Yeah, I've got my top hockey play over at the site right now, $9 Monday. I've got another TV show to do, but as soon as that's over, I'll probably put up at least one NBA or college basketball play, and it's only $9 for $9 Monday.
Awesome stuff. Can't wait to have you back, Bryan Leonard. Everybody, make sure to get his hockey play, $9 over at WagerTalk.com. Get out of here, bro. Quick break. Ralph Michaels, the pen, and that will be the end after that, Teddy.
The NHL is back, and so are the expert hockey handicappers at WagerTalk and SportsMemo.com. Right now, you can lock in as many handicappers as you want through the Stanley Cup, giving you 25 weeks of hockey for $3.99 using coupon code PUCktime100 when purchasing an NHL season pass. Lock in your favorite handicapper through the Stanley Cup in July.
Teddy covers the Prez. You're watching Wager Talk Today. Tomorrow's show, Steve Merrill, a whole lot of college hoops, and Dave Sharapan. I can't wait for the Friends with Ralph segment. I pulled mine out of my butt, 5-0 last week. Ralph Michaels, how are you, my friend? And make sure to tell everyone to hit that like button.
We tried that, Prez, but you broke your word. So why would they listen to me? I say hit the like button, Prez won't talk, and yet you still talked last time. So, you know, if it's not going to happen, Prez, I can't say it. But I'll say this. Prez will still talk, but please hit the like button, guys.
Okay.
Prez, you got to say something now, bud.
I'm saying, okay, Ralph, let's get into it. We only have like 5 minutes. Teddy needs to go do something before his opening line report.
He does. Well, let's do this. You know what? I got my info up late. I actually put it in the wrong channel. How about that? So we'll see if Joe gets it up. But it's Teddy asked me to run some info on the championship game, so we're going to go right to that. I'm just going to run through the numbers, guys. Home teams in this round in the championship series since 2001. Wow, Joe, you're amazing. Joe literally got that a minute ago, guys, and there he goes. Home team in the division rounds, 28-12, 56.4%, and take a look at those overs, 24-15. Check out home favorites of 4 or more, 20-3 straight up, 16-7. So we're in a position now that, we're in that smaller group of under that. But when there is a big home favorite in the championship series, since 2001, we've seen the home teams win, we've seen the home teams covered, and we've seen the home teams go over the total. Joe, if you can throw up since 2013, Teddy, and then we'll come back to you, because this is giving us a little more recent data. Since 2013, in this NFL championship round, home teams 10-2, home teams 8-4 ATS, home teams 8-4 over under, home favorites are 4 or more, 9-0 straight up, 7-2 ATS. You see the two teams that did not cover straight up, Rams against the Saints and Patriots against the Chiefs. And then the two teams that did not cover as a home favorite of 4 or more, Jacksonville plus the points beat New England, and Green Bay plus the points Seattle. Teddy, 10-2 straight up since 2013, 8-4 ATS for the division home teams. Is that in the range you thought?
Is that just a straight up scenario for the home team?
10-2 straight up, 8-4 ATS. Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not significant enough to move the needle for me. I'm not going to make a bet based on that trend. It's not the sample size isn't there. And basically, you're talking about, if one game was graded differently, you'd be looking at a trend that's basically a coin flip. It's 7-5. So no.
And Teddy, you had asked me to run teams that play their first 2 playoff games on the road, like Tampa Bay did. Well, let's take a look. If a team was on the road in the wild card and the team was on the road in the division round, like Tampa Bay, those teams 3-7 straight up, but 7-2-1 against the spread. And in the last 7 years, take a look though, since 2008, 1-6 straight up in ATS. Bears, Packers and Bears are the only team.
I'm very confused by that, because you're saying it's 3-7 straight up in ATS and 7-2-1 ATS in the same sentence, and I don't know what that means.
My typo bad. 2-7-1. So the wild card road teams that were on the road in the division and are in the road in the championship. Excuse my typo, guys. 3-7 straight up, 2-7-1 against the spread, a negative. And in the last 7 years, they're 1-6 straight up and 1-6 ATS. And that's since 2008. The only road team to win was the Packers against the Bears in 2000.
So what you're saying is that it's really hard once the team wins those first 2 road games, like Tampa, to win that third road game. Only one team has been able to do it in modern NFL history. Is that correct, Ruff?
It is. And, Teddy, it was a great question, because those teams, for how long as a wild card team never won the Super Bowl. So we knew it was difficult. And now you're playing on the road for a third straight time against a team that was likely rested with the number 1 seed getting that rest. So very good point. And the last one I'll bring up for today, teams that allowed 6 points or less in a division round, like Buffalo, not many times, 5-3 straight up, 5-2-1 ATS. But look, they are 7-1 over under. The last 4 that's occurred since 2004, again, a small sample size, only 4-0. I did run the next subset. A lot of times when we look at NFL teams and we say, Buffalo allowed 7. Well, what happens if they allowed 8, 9, or 10? Is it still a positive record, or was it an anomaly for that small 1-score game? Well, when I ran teams that allowed 10 or less, Buffalo, again, fits in that category. Those teams have gone 11-5-1 against the spread, so it has held true as well.
Ralph Michaels, what do you got for the Friends of Ralph play on a 5-0 run?
I believe that's a 7-0 run going back to the week before, but nice job, Prez. You handled the pressure great. You're on a great run in the NHL. Congratulations, and a great weekend.
Thanks, brother.
You know what, guys? We are such a unique family at Wager Talk and Sports Memo. You know, we got guys like Hakeem who do European basketball. You know, we have guys that do soccer leagues across the country. We have guys that do golf and UFC. Well, Tokyo Brandon handles Chinese basketball, Japanese baseball, and a bunch of other Asian sports. He is on a 63% run the last 3 weeks. Not only do I have a free play from him today, he has a 5% play in Chinese basketball today. If you can play Chinese basketball, write down this code. TBFREE for Tokyo Brandon free. It's a $9 coupon. You go to WagerTalk, buy his 5% play today for $9, type in TB free, and you will get his 5% best bet tonight absolutely free, no other purchase required. So code TB free. His free play, guys. Szechuan's playing Quindeo. He has Quindeo under 106.5. That's a team total. That's game 301,556. I looked up the league. It gets a lot of betting action in some of the offshore sports books. And, you know, these teams are quality teams. They all have American type nicknames after their Chinese names. But TB free, a free 5% play. That game goes tonight at, I believe, 10 o'clock Pacific. It's over in China. I'll obviously get that free 5% with that code TB free.
Ralph Michaels, everyone. And Ralph, my favorite part of your Friends with Ralph segment is you pronouncing the names of some of these teams. Shout out to Bryan Leonard, Marco D'Angelo, Ralph Michaels, Joe Ranieri, and of course my partner in crime, Teddy Covers. To all you guys who took time out of your day to join us live, thank you very much. For the guys watching afterwards, thank you as well. And please make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and comment. Tomorrow, Steve Merrill and Dave Sherapan. Teddy, take us home, baby.
Sure. Tons of great programming today right here on the Wager Talk YouTube channel. Don't miss Opening Line Report and so much more coming up next right here on this channel. Meanwhile, enjoy the games and good luck tonight. We'll be back again right here on Wager Talk Today in 23 hours and 10 minutes or so. Cheers.
While everyone is focused on the NFL, NBA, college basketball, and the return of NHL, our resident Asian sports expert, Tokyo Brandon, has been crushing it. Currently 68.6% in 2021. Based in Tokyo, Japan, Brandon previously scouted Japanese baseball for the Pacific Rim scouting department of a Major League Baseball team for 10 years. He now uses his mathematical probabilities and betting models to handicap Japanese baseball in an array of international basketball leagues. For a limited time, you can check out Tokyo Brandon for pennies on the dollar and get 1 full week of picks for only $49 using coupon code ASIA49 when checking out.